Hey everyone, I'm Alex Ratcliffe from Board Game Co. And today with me, I have Sherwin Matthews from Steamforged Games. And we're going to be playing through Resident Evil, which is, if you're not familiar already, it's going to be a Kickstarter coming to, Kickstarter, October 26th. And this is the third in the board game franchise. We had Resident Evil 2, then 3, and now we're going back to the roots with Resident Evil. And we're going to go ahead and dive into this one. We'll do a bit of a teach and explanation as we go through it. It should be fairly easy to follow along, especially if you've played any of the Resident Evil games or any kind of dungeon crawler in this genre. It's a cooperative experience where we have to go through the objective. We're playing through a bit of a tutorial scenario, so it's not a full normal scenario you'll have in the full game. And at the end of this, we're going to also talk a bit about the game, the differences between the 2, 3, and 1, some other design questions and all that. Timestamps down below to everything. And with that, way too long into this, hi Sharon, how are you doing?
Hey Alex, I'm not doing too bad, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's. I'm coming in a bit blind. I've kind of skimmed through the rule book. I have a general idea of how to play this. I haven't played 2 and 3, so I'm really fresh and new to the series. So I'm kind of relying on you to make sure we don't die here.
I like this. I was really good until the very last sentence, and at that point, now I just feel the pressure upon me. No worries. I mean, one of the things about Resident Evil that we sort of really focused on is trying to make it very action paced, very fast paced, very action filled, and quite streamlined and quite straightforward to actually play. So I think we'll learn how to play it pretty quickly and sort of be able to dive into just trying to stay alive at that point. So it should be good.
Awesome.
So let's just quickly talk about the scenario then, in which sense. So our objective is to get to, and if you can see on my hand is hovering on the board, over this green token here. If one of our tokens is characters is placed on this token, we're removed from the playing area and we have escaped. If both of us can escape, then we succeed the scenario. Ultimately, though, this is a Resident Evil game, and for those people who've played a Resident Evil video game, you never get told exactly how to achieve what you need to do, just that you need to do that thing. So somewhere out there, it looks like we've got some locked doors to contend with. We obviously don't know what the larger area of the map looks like. And obviously there are definitely things that will come to bite us as we play through. So
just a quick interruption. So these are our 2 characters over here, right there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this thing that's really, really, really close to what we need is a locked door.
That's exactly it. So if we just slightly move you out of the way, you can see that, before she falls over, you can see that it's locked by the sword key. So in order to unlock that door, we're going to need to go out there and find that key, wherever that may be.
Excellent.
Somewhere,
cool.
One hopes. Tabletop is already being slightly clunky to play with, sort of tipping over Jill, but I'm sure we'll be fine.
Interesting. So just a few quick questions just to explore the general terrain here. I see some zombies. Obviously, we'll have to deal with those. I see a one-way door, which sounds great, except we're on the wrong side of that one-way door. And then we have a door to the next room. And then we have these 2 separate doors. Those are going to just lead off into new rooms.
That's correct. So one of the things, and we'll probably get onto this a little later on, I think, but one of the big changes in Resident Evil 1 compared to Resident Evil 2 and 3 is that we explore the map as we go along. It's not procedural like Bardsong, for example, but it is a game where we don't know what the landscape looks like until we actually start going out there and exploring it, which means it's very difficult for us to plan ahead, and it has the actions really zoomed in. So we have to think about our decisions very carefully about how to advance.
Excellent. Cool. I'm ready to start when you are.
Cool, no worries. Did you want me to take first turn to sort of explain you through it, or did you want to
be told? No, you go for it. Again, I've skimmed the rules. I know the basics, but I'd much rather be able to blame you when things go wrong.
I like your style, sir. Okay, no worries. So a Resident Evil turn is composed of 3 phases. And just before I quickly dive into those, we're going to go my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, and we'll alternate. Enemies don't get their own turn. They activate as part of our actual individual turns themselves. So the first one of these phases is the action phase. That's where the characters move around, attack enemies, interact with their environments. If they want to pick up an item or open a door, that sort of stuff. In that phase, you can do up to 4 actions, and you can repeat an action as many times as you want, as long as you obviously don't go over 4. So I could move 4 squares, for example. I couldn't move 4 squares and then do an open door action. So in this case, I'm Rebecca over here. So I'm going to go 1 square to here, second move to there, third move to here. Now, just quickly on this, I'm able to go down here because obviously there are no walls in the way. These red lines around the edge of the tiles, those are walls. You can only leave a tile via an open door. So this door, speaking of which, is closed. So I'm going to my last action to do a open door action. So I'm just going to quickly flip that over, and that's the end of my action phase. Done my 4 actions. We now have, and I'm just going to move myself slightly ahead out of the way because of this, we now have the reaction phase. So in the reaction phase, any enemies on the same tile as the active character, in that case, this currently is me, will do a reaction, as in they can hear me or they can see me. I've disturbed them in some way, shape, or form. Or a tile that is linked to my tile or the active player's tile via one or more open doors. So if this door was still shut, then these enemies wouldn't react to me at all. They don't know I'm here. They can't hear me. They can't see me. Because I've just opened this door, they will now activate. This will be very important later on because we'll have to look at how we carefully manage our enemies as best we can by opening and closing doors to prevent them from basically coming to bite.
Now, practically and strategically speaking, is there a timer on the game that would stop you from having, let's say, just done 3 moves, waited at the door shut, and started your next turn fresh?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll get onto that in the next phase afterwards, which is the tension deck. So, but as you've touched on it now, the tension deck is, well, we'll talk about that when we get there. But if that ever runs out, it's game over. So we have to think very, very carefully about not wasting any time. We want to be getting around as quickly as we can, not only because that time is running out, but also because there's a lot of nasty cards in that tension deck. And the more time we spend playing the game, the more likely it is that we're going to get jumped by any number of different beasties.
Gotcha.
So with that in mind, let's do the reaction phase. So enemies, if they're in this range to attack, will come out to attack you. If they're not, then they'll move towards you. So if we look at the zombie card, and I'll just give you a moment to sort of direct yourself over here. But if you look at one of the zombie cards, zombies, if we have a look at their top profile, have a range of 0. So that's where that hand is. If you can, if you're looking at it, just that sort of the hand sort of lunging around with the lines. That means it can only attack you if it's in the same square. There is a second attack profile underneath it. We won't be using that just yet. I'll talk about that when we actually get to the, we draw a card that's going to reactivate it. So for the meantime, it can't attack me. So it's going to move in which case we look at the row of symbols along the top. There's 3. The middle one is its move. That's its movement speed. It can move 1 square. So it's going to move through this door and over to me over here. The other one is also going to react because that's on a linked tile. That's definitely not in range to attack. So that one is just going to go 1 to there. When we move, you can move diagonally. It's the same as moving into a square.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't cross corners, right?
You've got it, or across the wall.
Like I said, I skimmed rule books. I got it.
So you are a pro. So the last thing we do, so that's the end of the reaction phase. The last thing we're going to do is the action. It's the tension phase. For the tension phase, you draw a card from tension deck. Pretty straightforward. And I'll just move that and drop it down here. Show what I've got. Flip it over. Most of these cards are, there's 3 types of cards in here. There's green ones, amber ones, and red ones. Green ones tend to be non-hostile. They're just something where it's more flavor text and we don't need to worry about anything mechanically happening. The amber ones will generally tend to give us something that's like a difficult decision to work through. It might be that, for example, we can't leave our current tile we're on, or the enemies get extra speed or whatever else. The red ones tend to be your flat out jump scare stuff. So zombies smash through a window to attack or something along those lines.
Cool.
So I know the type of gamer you are. I won't necessarily worry too much about reading out the atmospheric text.
Oh no, I want to read it. I want to read it.
Do you want to read it or sure?
Yeah, no, it's in front of I have it all space barred up in front of my screen. It's all there.
Go, my friend. I'm ready.
You pause, ears strained for even the slightest sound. Nothing. But on your own ragged breathing. That means you're safe for now. Are you sure about that? Dun, dun, dun. I won't do this for every card. I just the very first.
No, that's fine. I appreciate that. It's something it's the sort of thing where some players really, really love that stuff, and some players look at it and go, right, so I'm not dead.
I tend to be a mix. It depends on the group, the style, the playthrough. Generally, when I'm on camera or with the right people, I lean a little more towards the performative. But if I'm by myself, I just read it and move on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you say. I reckon you're the guy who sits there in his own, like reading out all the cards, each individual one. Anyway, cool, excellent. Okay, so that's my turn over. Okay, over to you.
Cool. So I have 4 actions. I can move, I can attack. Now let's go ahead and look at my player board for a second so we can have some general idea over there. Just looking at my player board, I'm over on Jill Valentine over here. I currently have a knife, a handgun, and a first aid spray. Now my handgun, I believe, has range of line of sight, correct?
That's correct.
So as far as I want.
Yeah, so as far as you want. So line of sight is measured from the middle of the square that you're in to the middle of the square that the target is in. So as long as you can draw an unhindered line between those two things, then you're good to go. So where you
Perfect.
are at the moment, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to hit that
No line
zombie
of sight.
because the line would cross over the corner. But move one square and you've easily got it.
Correct. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to take my first action to move diagonally over here. And then I think I'm going to start rolling some dice. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my card over there just so we can go through the options. My knife's not really an option on the table. I should probably look at my abilities because I haven't actually even read those yet. We have Master of Unlocking, which is not going to be that relevant to what we're doing right now. And we have Fighting Spirit, which is not that relevant yet. We'll get to those later. I have handgun ammo of 15 over here. And that's the game where your ammo is limited. If you're used to any of these games where you just have unlimited ammo, this is not that game. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a shooting action. Now, just to look at my card and go over some things, my handgun has 15 ammo. It has a gun symbol. Line of sight is the range. This over here is the number of dice I roll when I shoot, which is 1. And then these are the effects for different type of roll results, either pushing the zombie one away or dealing a damage to it. And then lastly, we have this symbol down here, which is rapid fire. That means I can choose to spend an extra 2 ammo, or I can spend an extra 1 or an extra 2 ammo to roll an extra 1 or 2 dice when I shoot. Now, the one part I don't know about is how much health does a zombie have? It looks like 1, right?
That's 1. So
Perfect.
yeah, one of the things we wanted the zombies to do, and I think you hit the nail exactly right. This isn't the game where you have loads of ammo and just, you're rolling dice, so a problem to it goes away. We wanted to make every enemy in Resident Evil a decision point for the player. How Resident Evil is a game of resource management. Do you want to, you're effectively your 2 twin resources, especially in this demo, are your health and your ammunition. Which one do you want to try and spend to get over something? If we think we're not going to come back into this room very much, perhaps you want to dodge past the zombie instead of attacking it. If you think we're going to go backwards and forwards quite a lot through here, then killing the zombie is definitely a good thing. So otherwise you're going to spend lots of health potentially dodging past it each time.
Oh, those are called designer hints, people. Oh my gosh, you're making it so that I'm questioning my decision whether to kill the zombie or not.
I don't think it's a terrible idea, bearing in mind we know that we have to go back onto this tile to then go out through the escape.
Okay, fine.
Even if we trap it in here, it's still going to come and get us.
Now, how many of these hit icons are there on a die? 1, 2?
Yeah, so you've got the sort of single bullet, you've got 2 of those, so effectively that's a 5+. You've got 1 double hit, which is the one you're looking for. The other ones are evade symbols, which indicate you're either missed or you've hit the zombie, but doesn't really care too much.
I think I'm going to go ahead and try for a rapid fire with 3 dice. I want to kind of achieve results in the first turn. It's probably a horrible mistake, just getting rid of all my ammo. But again, I've made it very clear I'm blaming you when we lose either way.
I like your style. Are you shooting the zombie with me, or are you shooting the zombie behind us?
You know what? I'm going to let you make that choice. What do you prefer, sir?
Let's shoot the zombie behind us.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. I'm going to shoot the zombie all the way behind us. I'm going to go ahead and roll. And we got, boom, 1 hit. The zombie, nice. I believe, is dead.
Yeah, so there is one important thing we need to do with that zombie. So we're just drop him back for a second.
Oh,
so,
that's right. He has the stat. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
he has the ability,
leave a corpse
tough hide.
Yeah, so he's going to leave a corpse token behind. So because you've rolled a push icon as well, you can push them into a corner or wherever it is that you want them to go. Now, corpses are something you need to be slightly careful with, because every time you enter a square with a corpse token in it, or you perform an action while you're in the same square as a corpse token, you have to roll this die here, this black one. If you roll the umbrella symbol, the corpse is going to stand up as a zombie again.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and shove it down over there.
Okay, I'll grab a corpse token and we can we'll replace him with that then.
Okay. Oh, I see we got a corpse token in this corner here. I didn't realize that. Okay. Yeah. And do you roll that umbrella symbol per corpse?
You do when excuse me, you roll once, and if you get the umbrella symbol, any corpse on that square stands up. But we're a little way off that yet. So that corpse is probably fairly safe in that corner there. We're not really going to necessarily need to go in there. I'm a little bit more concerned about the one that's got, lying on top of an item A, but we'll see what we get to.
So I did I shot already. I'd taken a move. I could have 2 more moves, which is I could move onto the same square as a zombie, but I really don't like the idea of ending my turn there, which means I think I am going to go for a shot, but I'm actually going to go for a single shot right now. So I'm going to go ahead and move. Yeah, I'm going to go move one closer just for my 3rd action. And my 4th action is going to be rolling a single die, and we are going to get boom. So that's nothing over there. So I've expended a total of 4 ammo, which means I'm going to rotate this dial down by 4. So we're down to 11 ammo, which now has me terrified of playing this game. Okay. Now, I believe the zombie is going to react, isn't it?
It is. And because it's already at the same square as me, it's going to attack me.
Oh, really?
Quick. Very well done, sir.
Okay, it's okay. I'm gonna move with the punches, but I might have shot with more ammo. But it is what it is.
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
So it's going to attack me. I use my evade score. So if you look at, I'm assuming you'll look at Jill's card or Rebecca's one.
I'll look at Rebecca's.
Okay. The first stat along the top is the evade score of the character. For the both sake of both our characters, it's 2. That's how many of these blue dice that you roll when you're attacked by an enemy. What you're really looking to get here is one of the evade arrows. Now there's a small evade, a medium evade, and a large evade. Depending on the amount of enemies in the same square as you or the size of their base, some of those will work, some of them won't. If there's only a single enemy on a small base in the same square as you, any of the evade symbols will work. So really all I need to do is get an evade symbol here.
Cool.
Yep, I'm all
That's good.
So that's just for reference for your viewers. That's a small evade and a medium evade. The large one, the arrow continues all the way around.
Yep, I see it over here. Got the camera.
Cool.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so that's done. So the next phase, there's no other enemies to react, obviously, is the tension phase. So I'll let you draw a card, sir.
Oh, I don't want to draw a card. Now this deck is going to be which deck over here?
It's
This
the one with
deck.
the door on it.
Oh, the one with the door. Okay, we're going to go ahead and flip it. And we have all clear. Fatigue burns hard, your muscles complaining as much as you're afraid, nervous about this long night of sustained horror. But for a moment at least, you found respite. Blessed pause to calm your nerves and consider your next move.
See?
Yeah, I lied. I'm definitely going to do all of them.
Fair enough. Okay, so my turn, and I think I'm going to go with the same. Interesting. Now, it depends how gamey I want to be. I was about to say, I came out gamey I want to. I might want to stab it with my knife, and then I realized Rebecca doesn't actually have a knife. Curse you, design decision. I'm going to throw 3 bullets at this problem because Rebecca is a medic who doesn't have any combat skills to speak of as such. So I don't have any bonuses to my attack rolls or anything else. So my first action is going to be an attack. That's a push, not the best, but I'll make do. So I'm going to push it into your square.
Yep, seems reasonable. That way it attacks me. I see what you're doing here.
Yep, it's well, yeah, it's fallen over in the sheer shock of things. So we'll just quickly stand you up.
No, I understand. My turn had a zombie attacking you. You feel like fair is fair. This is a cooperative game, right?
Yeah, exactly. Fully
Just making
cooperative.
sure.
If one of us dies, we either all go home or nobody goes home. For my second attack, I'm going to roll 2 dice.
Boom.
And then I killed it. Unfortunately, it's in the same square as you. I was hoping to push it back a bit, but I'll take a kill. My cunning plan there is to push it past you and then run through the door and shut it. So that way the zombie doesn't react and therefore come towards you in this next turn over. And then you'll just literally be able to stroll out and join me. Of course, the zombie dying, there's just been an inconvenience there. So, okay, so I'm going to go two actions left, 1 and 2 to here. So reaction phase, there's no enemies to react on the board, which is good. So then we move straight into the tension phase, which I will quickly draw from now.
All appears safe, but you don't dare relax. In this haunted nightmare, the slightest lapse of concentration can lead to an untimely demise. If you're to make it out alive, you need to keep moving and stay on your toes. Anything can change in a split second, even in a quiet place like this.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, my turn. Oh, that's right. My turn.
It is indeed.
Okay. So
what do you think? Do you think we want to investigate some of these doors or make a beeline for the item A?
So item A represents what exactly? A random item from a deck?
Yeah, so there are 3 different item decks. There's an item A, an item B, and an item C. Obviously, they're all color coded, so it should be fairly straightforward which one you're picking up. And also, they have an A on them as well. And item A's tend to be the lower sort of level stuff like handgun bullets or a green herb for healing and that sort of stuff. B tends to be a bit more exciting, and then the item C is something special.
Cool. Well, I think given the fact that you're by a door, I don't want to end my turn by opening a door, which is what I could otherwise do. So, because I could go 1, 2, 3 and open door. So I think I'm going to leave the door to you as I go 1, 2, 3, and just straight to 4 so I can head to item A.
Okay, fair enough. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, cool. So reaction phase.
Now the zombie corpse rules are only if I do something there or if even leaving it counts.
No, it's if you end an action on the same square as it. So if you move onto it, you obviously roll. If you do pick up an item, for example, then you do it again.
Okay, let's go ahead and flip this. Fear, hunger, exhaustion, all are demons threatening to drag you down, but you won't let this evening be your last. Where another might find defeat, you know only resolve. You are a member of S.T.A.R.S, and you have a duty to perform.
There you go, see? Okay, so in my turn, I'm going to open this door as per our discussion. So I'm going to quickly go here. So my first action is an open door. Now, if we have a look at this this card here with a map on it, we can see that that leads to card 2. Just looking at that, which means I pick up card 2 when I move through. So for my next action, I'm going to move, grab this, flip it over, and then that will reveal what card actually goes down there. And I can see from this, that's a single one of these, single tile, which drops down and goes here. And I'm now having some fun with Tabletopia, just trying to make these line up.
Okay, perfect. And it looks like it comes with a regular zombie, right? Oh no, that comes with an item A.
Yeah, so there's an item A there. I will be placed on this tile. Yep. And then the other thing about this card, which is quite interesting, is it's got that small icon in the corner of a single card. So when you go into a new tile on Resident Evil, although we've seen them at the moment where we've seen, don't need all of them, just need one of them. Oh, yeah. Oh, apparently I'm going to grab all of the tokens. Where we've seen in Resident Evil, at the tiles we've seen at the moment, it already has zombies predetermined on them. However, in every single tile we're going to discover going forward, they will have what's called one of these encounter tokens on them. That means how many cards you draw from the encounter deck to see what's waiting for you. So that's completely randomized. You don't know. You could have a zombie in one game. It could, next time around, it could be a corpse or like an event that opens doors around you or causes corpse to stand up again. Various different things. So we really are stepping into the unknown every single time we go into a new tile. Once you've discarded this token, then you don't roll, you don't do any more. So you just literally see what's in there the first time. So having just stepped on here, I remove this token and let's see what's waiting. So that's this deck here with the umbrella symbol.
Grave
wind.
The halls.
Oh, sorry.
No, by all means, I've been hogging the camera. Go ahead, sir.
A grave wind chases you through the halls and rooms, a constant reminder of the stormy weather outside. Doors creak open on rusty hinges where the draft meets resistance, the sound carried eerily through the air. Locate the hostess tile that contains an enemy and one or more closed doors. Open all unlocked doors on that tile. Now,
interesting.
Because we can't resolve that, because we have no enemies currently on there, I have to draw a replacement. Oh. So it was a great card, it didn't spawn any enemies. But what have we found this time? 2 corpses. Good. We needed more of those.
Yeah, they're just a corpse. What's the big deal? Well, and we choose where they go?
They go on the small biohazard symbols. That's our spawn symbols. So one will go there and one will go there. So we've got one next to the corpse. Sorry, next to the item A. So I unlock the door for 1. I step through for 2. I'll go 3 here, and then I'll step into the same square as this item A and the corpse and roll this dice here. Almost, but not quite. Okay, it's all good.
Okay, tension card.
So, yep, over to the reaction phase. Obviously, we've killed our enemies. So one of those.
All clear. Dust falls from above in a thin trail, accompanied by the thump of footsteps. They're on the hunt looking for you. But for now, you're mercifully alone and free of foes. Best keep it that way, if you can. Okay, I believe it's going to be my turn. I'm going to go ahead, and because we got no doors here, this is clearly the next step back. So I'm going to go ahead and wander into here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that item.
Now, just quickly, let's make a new roll using the
perfect. Dice. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and boom, we are fine. I'm going to grab the item A, which I'm going to go take a look at this one. Let's go and see what I got. I got a dagger. If this character fails an evade roll, they can discard this to ignore the effects of an attack. So let's go ahead and put that next to my other knife, slightly different. Okay, so it's not the exact same. Okay, we'll go ahead and line this up over here.
The other knife you have is an actual weapon. This one is more like something you can quick stab an enemy with to avoid getting bitten and then keep moving.
Cool. Well, I'll take it. That was 2 actions, I believe, with picking up an enemy as an action, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Think of it this way. If you had to press a button on your controller to do it, it will be an action in this game.
That's fair. So I'm going to go ahead and move and press that button on my controller. And finally, we're going to go ahead and open that door for my last action.
Tremendous.
Okay. And that means we have to grab the large tiles, or 2 tiles, it looks like.
It's when you move onto it. So you move. Okay. Is this sure? Yeah. Otherwise, we found that people will just open doors, go, oh, I don't like the sound of that, and then shut the door. And enemies don't come out to buy it. We have to make you commit to it a little bit at least.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a tension card to end my turn. And it's bound to be something at this point, right? It's bound to be something. It's bound to be nothing.
No,
not too times to come. This evening will define you. How you overcame the challenges ahead, how you defeated your enemies, and how you triumphed and solved this mystery. Don't let this beat you. You will make it out alive. You must survive. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about having green cards is that you have green cards. The bad thing about having green cards is that the more of those you see, the worse it gets later on.
I'm anticipating.
In the meantime, I'm going to quickly roll, see if I can pick up this item. Oh, I definitely can. It's more so much whether a corpse stood up. So let's grab that and drop that down there. And I have found handgun magazine. That's some bullets.
Nice. Cool.
So that's not going to let me reload my handgun completely, but it's definitely better than nothing.
8 bullets. That's a good 2 or 3 zombies right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
what we really need is to find some sort of source of flame so we can actually use some of this kerosene we have to burn corpses, but not for us for the moment. So 1, 2, 1 to pick up the item, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay.
Tension card time.
Quickly tension card.
I'll let you read it because it's going to be the bad one.
Hopefully not. No, not this time. Low growls torment you, sinister whispers that bleed from behind closed doors and through thin walls. In this hellish place, there can be little respite and even less safety. Only moments to catch your breath as long as you dare.
Cool.
There's like a tension building here, isn't there?
I really want bad cards to happen, not just because it's good for the gameplay, but because I am worried about exactly what you said. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and grab some tiles. Now, does it matter which tile I grab, or just grab any tile from the stack here?
So that was actually numbered. So if we have a quick look, we've got, so that is number 3. So it's going to be this one here.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So flip this card.
Yep.
Okay.
Put that over, and I'll put that down for you.
Oh wow. Okay, fine.
So it's actually, yeah. Sometimes these aren't just a. Sometimes these will be multiple cards, multiple tiles, rather than just the one.
Okay, that's a lot going on there. Let's go ahead and figure it all out. So we have which ways are connected. I'm trying to figure this out visually.
That's correct, as you see now. So
okay, perfect. So we got over there. We got to put on a B. We got some cards, whole bunch of cards, whole bunch of things going on here. Okay, so we got 3 B tiles. It looks like I'll grab one of those, and the last one visually just looking there. Okay,
few doors.
I think this goes over here.
That's correct.
Just visually rotating this in my head. There, perfect. Okay, fine. It's exactly aligned. There we go. Never mind. I'm like rotating this as I see.
Door here. So we've got a few options here when we go through. We can do that good old-fashioned thing that everyone does in any decent zombie game, which is split up.
Yes, we should definitely split up.
Obviously,
I agree.
Why would we not want to do that? It's I think
one goes over here.
Yep.
Okay, and then one more directly across from it.
Directly across.
Okay.
Oh, and that's there. And the last thing to do, just quickly looking at it, is
cards.
We've got some cards.
We have 2, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so there's 2 in the one that you've just stepped into, so I won't put that one down. I'll let you just draw the cards, and I'll drop the other ones down there.
Okay, excellent.
Good luck.
I'll take it. So we're gonna go ahead and draw from this deck over here, right?
We are. So we resolve the one at a time. So the first one.
A faint groan reaches ears, followed by a rustling sound as air rushes into lungs. Once still and a lifeless heart begins to beat with an urgent drum. After resolving any other encounter cards, replace the closest corpse with a zombie. So this is still eligible, right?
100% is. So it's going to be one of those 2 corpses behind you.
Yeah.
So which one would you like to stand up?
Well, don't we resolve the other encounter card first?
Do the first one. Do them in order. So would you like to?
Okay,
because they're equidistant, it's up to you.
I'll do the one in the corner. Don't particularly matter.
Grab him then.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
And then we're going to have this one, which is going to be spawn 1 zombie. And let's put him, not exactly in our spot down over here.
So there's enemies will not spawn in your square unless you're on the only encounter spot on the tile. So always good.
Cool.
Right. So
and then I still have 3 actions.
You do.
So I don't have a lot of ammo, but what I can do is my knife rolls based on a knife would be, because I promise I could walk and then stabby stab, which I might be tempted to do. The problem is, can I stab from adjacent or I have to be in the zone?
No, you stab from, it's range 1, I believe.
Range 1. So I could stab from adjacent. I think I'm going to go with that. I might regret this, but I really am worried about the ammo maintenance of this game. So I'm going to move forward one, and then I'm going to go stabby stab, which just once again showing everyone my knife. My knife's going to be a 1 die, and I can push it away, or I can basically kill it. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and roll over here. We're going to just get a little roll there, and we got nothing. And we're going to do it again.
So just quickly before we do that, so that triggers something called an out sequence reaction, making an attack. Sometimes enemies will react outside of the reaction phase. This is one of them when you make an attack. So the first thing is the enemy that you attacked, because you haven't done any damage to it, or you haven't you haven't hit it and caused any effects, will move towards the closest character. So it will go to here.
Cool.
Next step is that every enemy on a linked tile, i.e. this one here, because the door is open, is also going to move towards the closest character. So this one's going to stagger closer to me.
Cool. And if I attack it again, does it attack me?
So because it's now in your square, slightly different. If you make an attack against it and you fail, it will automatically hit you. The other one will still move towards me as normal. And
will it still have a reaction attack at the end of its turn?
During the reaction phase, it will indeed.
Okay. Now, I think the difference, correct me if I'm wrong, is the automatic hit, I don't roll for defense. The reaction, I do.
That's correct.
So I have a 1 in 6 chance of hitting it or being hit by it. I'm going to go with
using your gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go with my gun because my whole dastardly plan is gone now. We're going to go ahead and lower my ammo by 3, and I'm going to try to shoot that thing in the face. So we're going to go 1, 1, 1, and then roll. And it does push it away, so we are fine there. So I'm going to let it walk 1 away, and that's my turn. At the end of its turn, I believe it's going to move towards me again.
It is, and this one will move into the same square as me.
Okay.
Cool. Fantastic.
Cool is a relative term. Yep.
Yeah, it's best we can make. You've got to make do with what you've got, right? Tension card time.
Okay, tension card. Honestly, these enemies are just fine. I don't know if I need the tension card anymore. And all clear. You pause, ear strained for even the slightest sound. Nothing beyond your own ragged breathing. So that means you're safe for now. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Your turn.
Well, perhaps that wasn't your breathing. That's the problem. Okay, so I'm going to try and dodge with Rebecca. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm going to perform a move reaction. Now, when you perform an action in the same square as an enemy that isn't an attack, it tries to attack you first. If you successfully evade it, you can do your action as normal. If you fail, then it hits you and you don't get to do your move or whatever else it was you're trying to do. So I'm going to evade, hopefully. I am indeed. That's a large evade. So I'm going to go 1 to there. This zombie is just here. 2, 3, and then I'm going to shut this door for 4.
Nice.
So that now means that enemy at least will not react to us. So reaction phase, that does mean the zombie in the same square as you is going to try and bite you.
Oh, I am aware. And I believe I will, how many dice? Let's see. I roll 2 dice for evading.
You do indeed.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and evade. Hopefully now is not one of the time I want to get those hits. I want to get evading now. I'm going to go ahead and roll, and we do not evade. So, so I'm going to go ahead and discard my dagger to avoid the hit. Okay. I'll toss off the side, and there we go.
Okay. Tremendous. So in my turn, sorry, that's the lie. It's absolutely right.
Oh, it's my
turn.
It's
I should say the tension card.
Oh, tension card.
I have to drop in the tension deck first, don't I? We're all clear at the moment, so we're all good. But there is an interesting point now. So we have this symbol on the bottom of it, if you look at it. So this won't necessarily affect the zombie just yet. But remember I mentioned the second attack profile. Some of these cards have a symbol on the bottom, which means if that's showing as the top card of the tension deck discard pile, the enemy will do its special attack if it corresponds to that symbol. Now, luckily for us, the zombie doesn't have that.
The other enemies, the hunter do.
Yes, so just worth bearing that one in mind.
Okay, cool or not cool. Now, so again, I have a choice of expending 3 ammo or basically just hoping it. I'm going to go ahead and expend 3 ammo. I'm going to go ahead. I'm lowering my ammo down. Actually, maybe I want to run past it. My options here, if I walk past it, I do an evade, right? If I walk past it, is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
But then I have 1 open a door would be 2, but then I'd be putting new things on the board. No matter what happens, it doesn't work great for me. And we're both kind of having to deal with it. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and try to take it out still. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3 and go for a roll. And we do kill it. Excellent.
Tremendous.
So
unfortunately, no bushes, but it's going to end there.
Corpse in a spot.
Okay.
My ammo's down to 5. This does feel very much like the video game now.
If you move to an adjacent square, you can do a trade action. I can give you the handgun magazine if that helps.
Possibly.
Or
I
you
do have
could
the
go and
knife
find out what the
though.
item be.
Let's
Yeah,
find out
okay.
what the item B is first. I'm gonna walk 1, and I'm gonna go ahead. So that's action 2. Action 3 is I'm going to go ahead and draw B from the item deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a color-coded item B. We're gonna flip it. I'm gonna take a look, and I have an old key. Unlocks doors locked by a simple lock. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my inventory. It's not the massive machine gun that has 400 bullets that I wanted, but I'll take it. And then lastly, I can open a door. Now, when I open the door, do I draw the cards yet or not yet?
No, when you step onto the tile. So you're
Opening
going
the
to
door
just
it
open the
is.
door in preparation.
Okay, that's my turn. And it's now tension deck time. Okay. And we got again. Okay. Low growls torment you, sinister whispers that bleed from behind closed doors and through thin walls. In this hellish place, there can be little respite and even less safety. Only moments to catch your breath for as long as you dare. So, design question time. We have 29 cards. We've already gone through a bunch. How many cards are green in that deck?
It will change. One of the things about the attention deck as you go through the actual as you go through the campaign is that it's an evolving deck. So there are player decisions that change what types of cards are in there. So you might walk past a door, for example, that's rattling and there's clearly lots of zombie sides behind. You have the choice. You can open the door and deal with the zombies, or you can shuffle a card into the tension deck, which is zombie horde. So it generally tends to change. But I normally found from design purposes, a good starting point is about 70% green, 20% amber, and then 10% red. Any more than that, and it starts to be that players just have loads of stuff happening time after time after time against them, and the deck stops being having so much tension as much as it starts being just
Murder
this
and
deck
death.
that screws you over or over.
Yeah, and it gets fascinating because I mean, especially if you're coming from a game like Zombicide, as I very much am, these crawlers, these simple basic zombies, because of the nature of ammo, still represent a decent amount of tension just in their tiny little nothing existence. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we wanted, as I said, we wanted it's, and especially when you start getting a horde of them as well. Basically, the rules are obviously, I touched on this earlier. Once you start getting more zombies together at the same time, it becomes more difficult to evade them. So they're really much more dangerous in a horde. So you don't necessarily get attacked by all of them at the same time, but it is something where a crowd will very quickly tear you to shreds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's your turn, I believe.
With that in mind, do we think we want to split up at this point, or do we think we want to investigate the other item Bs?
I just looking at the map. I think splitting up. Let's go ahead and split up. I'm cool with it.
Okay. So 1, 2.
You know what they say: live together, die alone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you're the senior officer here, Jill. So I'll follow your advice on this one. So that's 1, 2, 3 to open the door. Now I could skip an action, so I'm not just jumping straight through. But that feels very. No, that's not what I'm going for. So just quickly looking at this, that is number 4. Where's card 4? There we are.
Okay.
So that's okay. Cool. I'm going to go grab those cards. That is this chunk here. I need to move these out of the way a little bit. So it looks like we found the way back to the simple lock, which is good.
Okay.
When it can fit down. And this is
perfect.
I'm having some fun with Tabletopia.
So close.
There we go, that'll do.
Okay.
That'll do. Grab you. And then we have, looking at this, what we got? A whole bunch of zombies. A narrative. Yeah, we've got a few more doors. One of which that will connect there. That's one where Tabletopia is just a shortcut tile. Yeah, that's a Tabletopia thing, I'm afraid. But we've also got a narrative event.
Any more doors? There's a door over here, isn't there?
Hello. Yeah, there's a couple here. There's one there, and there's also one which is locked, I believe. Not that one. This one here. Locked by the old key. Well, I found where the old key goes.
Okay.
Do we have another door token somewhere?
Are we missing a door?
We seem to be missing a door.
If we're missing a door, it's likely underneath the tile. When you reshifted it a bit, I had a door underneath this tile.
Okay.
Or do you just want to grab another one from the
old? I'll grab one from over here, then, in which case
cool.
saves us doing. Because I don't think we can go back.
A whole bunch of navigating.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just flip this one over.
I'll let you re-put that card. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, no worries. Leave that with me, and I'll just drop these down for us.
Okay.
Cool. And then we had some yeah, wow.
That's
and then I had exactly the same problem as you did.
okay.
I generally love abilities like stuff like Tabletopia and Tabletop Simulator to be able to play games, but sadly they're not always the most user friendly for some things. Let's drop you down there, and we've also got another couple of zombies on this board coming up in the room beyond,
As well as an A key. Did this just disappear underneath the tile? It just disappeared.
Sadly,
Look out,
so.
we have extra A's.
I think we put them into like corner, maybe it does work, or maybe the zombie. See, the zombie's got it for you.
Yeah,
good zombie.
Okay,
well done.
And then what's that other token over?
So that other token is that red one that just dropped underneath here, and for some reason isn't quite there. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
We can put it to the side.
Yeah. Okay. So we know it's there. So that's a narrative event token. So when we tread on that tile, whichever one of us does, we draw a card from the narrative event deck, which is this red card over here that matches the token, and we see what befalls us.
Okay.
And I'll talk a little bit about some of that stuff when we get there, I think.
Now you still have 2 more actions, don't you?
So I went 1, 2, 3 to open the door and 4 to step on here. So that's me done. So reaction phase. This zombie is going to stagger closer. These ones, fortunately, don't know I'm here yet, nor does this one behind us over here, which is good. So
we're missing a door token between these 2 doors. There's a door.
It fell down between the cracks, unfortunately.
Okay.
I saw it go. Slight shame.
We know it is.
Yeah, so let's draw a card from tension deck.
Okay, you know, for right now, I'm gonna grab the one that's open behind us, just so we have something as a reminder there. Okay.
No worries. All clear.
My gosh.
I can see it on the board.
Okay.
So it's good. We have another all clear though, other than zombies staggering closer to me.
Perfect.
Over to you, sir.
Okay. Splitting up. Now I could shoot down the hall at the zombie, but you have more ammo, so I'm gonna let you deal with that. I'm gonna wander into my own room and my own problems in life, and I can't cross directly at a diagonal, right? I have to walk 1 in first.
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk 1 in first. We're gonna resolve 2 cards. So 2 cards are gonna be resolved. I'm gonna go ahead and drop them over here, and we're gonna flip the first one, which is going to be spawn a zombie.
Okay,
and then the second one. Okay, and the second one's going to be spawn 1 corpse.
Okay, so let's have a quick look where the other spawn point is. So I think you're standing. Yeah, you are. So basically, there's a zombie chowing down on a body in this room.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I got one.
You got
okay,
yours.
Perfect. Okay.
And that'll be in the same square as the zombie.
Yeah. Oh, so it goes in the same square as the zombie?
Same square as the zombie.
Because I'm on
your squares, because you're in your one.
Okay, so that was one was walking.
You've walked in and had that moment where the zombie sort of slowly turns to look at you as you've done it.
Now I can't draw a line of sight across a corner, so since I can't shoot it anyways, I think I'm gonna walk over here to 2 and then pick up the item for 3. So I get another B card over there because I don't know what they are, but I want more fun stuff. I'm gonna get that, which is gonna be a lighter. Spend 1 fuel to remove each corpse in either the same square or an adjacent square to this character. The card is not discarded. Perfect. I like it. Okay, and that's an action or a freebie?
As action to pick it up.
And I'm saying once I
use the lighter.
Is an action to use it. Perfect. Okay. It says spend 1 fuel. Okay, great. And then for my 4th action, I'm going to go ahead and wander 1 closer over there, which I believe means the zombie is going to wander into my space at the end of my turn.
It can't cross the corner any more than you can, so it's just going to poke its head from behind the corner.
And so walk up 1?
Phase. So it's going to walk there. And my one, because these doors are open, leading onto my tile, unfortunately, this zombie's going to come close to me here. So
let me just get a clear picture of how that works. So when after my move, the reaction is anyone in my square and then anyone.
So anybody on your tile will do a reaction. In this case, this, and any tiles that are linked to your tiles. So that means that any door, any linked by 1 or more open doors. So if this door was shut, for example, then there'd be no further reactions. Because this one is open, it means anything on this tile is doing something. It also means that this one is open here, so this one will come closer as well.
So let me slightly change my turn, only slightly. I think I'm going to close that door behind me after my turn and stay over here.
Sure.
Okay. I just don't want us both triggering actions back and forth as we go.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was going to shut the door straight behind me here, but that also makes sense. It's a sound tactical move.
Cool.
It's all good. Cool. So in which case, just a tension card for you now.
Oh, that
Yeah,
tension
that thing.
card. If we could just forget about those, that'd be great. There we go. Vigor Mortis. Your enemies lunge forward unpredictably, nails clawing through the air as the teeth snap at you. Enemies on this character's tile perform a reaction. So me saying one tile back actually is very helpful.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's got you in the corner now.
Okay.
It could have been a lot worse if it was a more dangerous foe. So that's
It's okay.
good.
I'll stab it and then shoot it next turn. We'll see.
I
Okay.
like your style. The part that is slightly unfortunate about this is you've got the key, haven't you?
I do. And you need the key to get into the center room.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's things to do along the way.
Yeah, yeah. I like the option. Yeah, there's stuff we can do. Well, let's try and kill that zombie. I think because that's going to be the bane of our existence if it stays here. Oh, I don't want to use 3 bullets. I mean, I could go for the more sensible 2, but you've already set a precedent of just throwing 3 dice at every problem, right? So,
I mean, even 3 is not the biggest chance. And those actions, I guess in your case, it happens to be if you're waiting around for me anyway, conserving ammo might be better, but too late now. It's dead now.
Yeah, it's gone now. Well, it's more so much I've got the extra magazines, so I'm feeling a bit more brave than perhaps I might do otherwise.
Okay.
And fortunately, that didn't fall through the world, which is encouraging. So that's 1. Let's go. Let's shut this. No, I won't shut that door. Actually, you might want to follow after me. 2, 3, and I'm going to end in the same square as this corpse. Hopefully, it doesn't stand up again. And it did not. Now let's see. What do we think? I'm going to go one more. I don't necessarily want to keep on opening the door to that red room. I'll let you take care of what was in there. I'll go get the IMA. Cool.
Tension deck time.
Yep, because we're not linked to the same one. So let's see. Do we have another green card, or are we going to start seeing some more grim things? No, we're okay for the moment.
Okay.
More growling.
Okay.
We're okay.
See, now that the enemies are here, I'm getting the tension from the enemies, so I'm not reading the cards quite as much. Okay. I'm going to start with the stabby McStabby. Now, in general, that's good. 1 in 6 chances should happen 1 in 6 times, but we'll find out. So I'm basically using my knife to attack an adjacent enemy. We're going to go ahead and roll, and we are going to get, boom, that. So it's going to creep into my square. Fortunately, nothing else happens, correct?
That's correct. It's going to react and stagger into your square. And
now from here, I have a choice. Because it's in my square, I really want to kill it, which blows me to 2 ammo, which is not good, but I'm going to do it because otherwise it attacks me. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 3 dice to hopefully and definitely totally not even a question kill it, because that's just how stats work. Okay, I'm going to roll them and we push it back 2 spaces. Okay, that was my action 2. So action 3 is I could shoot it again, or I could wander towards it and stab it.
Well, you could alternatively just decide, you know what, this zombie's not really worth the effort, and then run up to the door, open it, and next turn run up and join me to go use the simple key.
It depends what's in this room. Depends what this B thing is.
Well, but it's worth pointing out we don't necessarily need to go in all of the rooms.
Yeah, I'll follow. I'll go ahead and do what you said. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and flip that door, which is interesting because then zombies will activate after your turn, won't it? But you're not necessarily doing anything.
Yeah, I could also run into this other room and go and explore and then go see what's the other item B is.
Yeah, I'll risk it. I'm going to go ahead and flip that door open. And that's my turn, which means he's now going to wander towards me.
The other thing about this, by the way, is if you successfully attack it, you can push it out of that door and then shut it in its face. So that's trapped in that room there. So it's not the end of the world if you decide to carry on going.
Yeah, in hindsight, that door open, I could have shoved it through the door and closed it behind me. But hindsight. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a tension card. And of course, it's going to be good. It is good. All clear.
Okay. Do we have a symbol on top of that? We do. That's okay. It's okay for the moment. So, what do we think? Do I want to try and get that item B and then go from there, or do you want to go and find that item A? What's the
also practically speaking? The closest I'm going to end up to over here is at the end of a turn. I can end in this square. So, meaning I could start heading towards the old door. Interesting. So you're saying I'm heading towards the old door. You need some things to keep you busy. Yeah, I guess. I mean, this room over here just seems like not a good place to go. It's a 1 item A with 2 zombies. So
but on the plus side, if there is I do know at that stage that there's definitely no. I could have something worse in that one where there's 3.
So yeah, so it's up to you.
Let's go for 3. I'm feeling brave.
Okay.
What are you about to say otherwise?
No, I'm about to say that I don't trust you no matter what happens. Okay.
Nice. Nice. Okay, well, quickly, I need to roll the dice. I've ended on the same square as that corpse.
Yep.
So let's quickly see whether that stands up.
2.
She
Nothing.
doesn't. And then I open the door on it. So
Nothing.
maybe this is just dead.
Yeah.
Famous last words. Anyway, so 1, 2 to open door, 3 to step in. Time to draw some of those encounter cards. See what
3
happens.
encounter cards with 1 action left. You're a brave man.
Yeah, I got to find that IMB for you. So first one, a faint groan reaches my ears, followed by a rustling sound as air rushes into lungs once still, and a lifeless heart begins to beat with an urgent drum. Oh, good. Okay, so that.
So when you said maybe just dead, you meant not.
I meant yes. He says in his appropriately foreboding voice. I mean, it stood up, and it was all a trap. In my finest Admiral Akbar voice. The next one.
Okay.
Spawn on corpse. At the end of this character's tension phase, replace each corpse on this tile with a zombie.
Even better. So basically spawn a zombie effectively, right?
It is, but at least I have a turn to try and an action to do something.
And
then the last one. Do you know, going into this room wasn't really the most sensible of options in retrospect, was it?
So we got some stuff. So now if you walk back, that zombie will not turn into that corpse will not turn into a zombie.
That's correct. But
decisions.
In fact, I do have to deal with the fact that I have a zombie standing here. Okay. I think you're right. I think I'm
not. I wouldn't ever say those words about this game just yet.
No. Okay. I'm feeling brave. I'm going to go into this door here. There are some things that are now going to happen as part of this, unfortunately. So the first thing is we're going to have some reactions. So this zombie is going to come close to me here. This zombie is going to stand back up, who stood back up again, is going to wander through this door. And unfortunately, because all of these doors are unlocked, open even, this zombie here is going to try and bite you.
Yeah, seems reasonable. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 2 dice to prevent that bite, hopefully. And I need either of the successes, which is, of course, not what's happening. So now's a good time to talk about health, because apparently we're going to do that.
So the zombie is going to hit you. Now its effect shows it does 1 damage. I'll quickly double check the top card. It's okay. It's not the one that it needs. So you suffer 1 damage. Then, because you've been hit, you can push the zombie away from you. So your choice, you can push it into any adjacent square. You can't push it across the corner. So you could push it back where you came from.
I think given the situation, because of the closed door situation. Oh, interesting. The question now is, am I coming to help you through this door, or am I? The problem is he's still going to walk through. Oh no, he's not, because I'm in a room by myself. If I activate, no, it's interesting. I'm going to shove him this way.
Fair enough. Pushed him that way. Right. So that's that done. And then the last thing, in which case, is I will draw a card from the tension deck, which would choose now, if it's on form, to start
all characters in your space.
All characters in my space just have loose health.
Didn't that corpse turn into a zombie?
Yes, that's a good point. That's now the end of the tension phase, and now that corpse is going to stand up, and Rebecca is really regretting her life choices at this stage.
Rebecca, wow, you have a lot of ammo. You're going to need to use it. Okay. On my turn, right now we are connected, which is not good, because that means all those zombies would walk towards you, right?
Yes, this is where we might see those larger vases going. I do have first aid sprays, but yeah. I certainly think running through and shutting the door to isolate that 1 zombie to start.
Yeah, the thing I'm debating is whether it's worth trying to shut this door before you activate, so that they don't all wander into your space. So, I mean, it might cost a little bit in game time, but you're otherwise looking at something not good. So I'm going to do the following. I'm actually going to try, because I have 1, 2, 3 actions. I'm going to walk 1, 2, 3, shutting that door. You know what? Maybe I'll shut all the doors. So I'm going to go 1. That's going to shut the door. 2, shut the door there. 3 there, and 4, shut the door. That prevents anyone from activating right now. So you don't have 3 zombies in your space.
Nicely done. I appreciate that. That was good.
Cool. Oh, tension. Yeah, just when I thought I was safe. Okay. All clear.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to try and move towards that item B, I think. Because I've got... Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm going to try and move into the same square as the item B. So I'm going to make my evade roll. It says, with all the optimism in the world.
Okay.
Yes, I've done that. I've only got 1 enemy so far. I'm going to pick up the item B and see what that is.
Action 2.
which is, where's my item B cards? There. That looks pretty serious.
Okay.
So I'll take a shotgun. All right,
I'm gonna go ahead and look at the stats of that shotgun so people can see
yeah,
it.
sorry. No
So we have
worries.
line of
I'll,
sight. Now you can do your thing. I'm zoomed in on it. We have 2 dice rolling. We have one. Oh wow! A single shot does a wound, and the double shot does a wound. And what's that symbol?
that's decapitate. So that means, sorry, no, that one is the it does a wound to every enemy in the same square.
Nice. Okay. And then lastly, we have decapitate, which ignores tough hide or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So that if this attack hits a zombie, the zombie is definitely not going to be leaving a corpse behind. Yeah, DED, dead. So with that in mind, where are we at? So 1, 2.
And it comes with its own separate shotgun ammo counter with 6 shots.
It does indeed.
Okay.
I kind of don't really want to. That said, I've now got the typical thing that happens in these games where I don't necessarily really want to worry about wasting ammunition shooting zombies, because obviously they're not. Yeah,
if you can get out and close that door behind you, then they're nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm tempted, so I can go 1 to here definitely.
Mm-hmm.
If I open this door here, then basically all 3 zombies are going to step into my square. That's not good. And then they'll also have the other one behind me sort of stepping in as well. So I think weirdly, I'm going to try and make a beeline back for the door that I came through. So over to here in time to join you for the grand unveiling of what's after the simple lock.
So let's find out.
Reaction phase. So this zombie is going to attack me. It's in range.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to make an evade roll.
And you have full evade. Safe no matter what.
Serious roll.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, just so we're on the same page. You only you could still successfully evade with any of the 3 right there, because only had 1 zombie in your space.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes. I've now got a second zombie in my square, though. Not so good. That would mean that I can't count the small evade at that point.
Cool.
So that's now done, though. And then the other zombie staggers closer, and then everything else, thanks to your supreme door closing skills, I don't have to worry about.
Now, the tricky part here, we'll do a tension card and we'll continue.
Yeah.
Okay. All
clear. Good. All good.
Okay. Now, the tricky part here is I can open a door with 1 action. Now, can I close the door from adjacent to the door, from a diagonally adjacent?
So, same square.
Same square. Which means if I open that door.
I've got a rough time of it, I think.
I don't think, I don't know the game, so this might be the wrong call, but I think I'm going to take an action to try to torch the zombie corpse in my space with my lighter.
Not a terrible idea.
Reduce my fuel. Where's my fuel?
The white tokens here.
There we go. Perfect.
On it, so one of those.
Okay. Feels a little bit like a waste, but not the worst now that you have the shotgun, because it'll be fewer corpses as we go. And then I think I'm just not going to do anything else. I really don't want you to suffer 2 zombie attacks with no mitigation.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay. I'm going to draw a tension
card.
All clear.
Starting to get mildly concerned about the about those bad ones coming up, but let's see what we get to.
That's future me's problem.
That's a really good point. So I'm going to try to make an evade. I'm just trying to leave the square with these zombies. So I can't roll the small evade on this one. I definitely can't roll any evades apparently. So the small evade wouldn't have worked, but that's okay because I'm busy rolling the best attack roll you've ever seen in your entire life. So one of these zombies is going to hit me. Let's do it in proper sequence. So I'm going to suffer 1 wound. Oh, hello. It says dropping that. I just want the token. So that goes to there. I'm then going to push the zombie that bit me away, push it to here, leaving 1 zombie in my square. So I'm going to try and make another evade roll, because if I start attacking, the problem I'm going to have is that these zombies are going to move into my square. Yeah. So I really need to try and just do this without violence. Boom. That worked. Should roll that the first time. So we're through here. So that's 2. And then we're going to spend 3 to shut that door. And then probably 4, smear, do not enter in my own blood on the wall. But I'm actually going to walk over to here for 4. And we are done. Now, no enemy reactions just yet. We're going to hope that this tension card isn't going to be the one that lets them open doors. Oh, there's one of those. That makes sense. Oh, there we are. We're starting to get some bad things. Lurch forward. During the next character's reaction phase, all enemies move 1 extra square. Which actually won't hurt us at all. Not at the moment, no. Because I'm glad we didn't get that slightly earlier. Yes, I'm going to flip mine, and then I'm going to go 1. Sorry, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be my turn, and no characters activate, which means they can move no extra squares all they want. We are fine. How do I stand this guy up? Q.
Okay, Q. Nope. Did I just set the doors down finally? Let's see.
I'm not sure. I'll try and set up Jill if you want to do the tension card.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, I'll grab a tension card and we're going to go ahead and flip it. And it is red. Let's go ahead and look at that.
Of course it is.
Remove the closest corpse and replace it with a crimson head. Now, closest moves through what? Everything?
Yeah, just establish whichever is the closest one. So that's going to be what I will count through. 1, 2, 3. It's basically first with tiles. So
1, 2,
we've got equal.
4, 6. Okay.
So first it's tiles, and then we'll do squares otherwise.
5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1,
It's
2,
equidistant, you can
3,
choose.
4. So the question is, does it go through closed doors? Because if it goes through closed doors, then it's going to be this one over here, because going through this way.
Okay, so that's our crimson head.
Okay, that's okay. It's behind a closed door, not the end.
Yeah, we're safe there. We've lucked out somewhat. Good.
Oh, that's a crimson head. Oh, that's an upgraded one. Interesting.
Yeah, so sometimes when you put the zombies down, they stand up as crimson heads, and that's a bad thing. Crimson heads are quite a lot scarier. They're much faster. They can suffer more wounds, and every time you draw cards with special effect symbols on them, every time you do a move action, they move as well. They are very, very fast things.
Cool. Okay, and it's your turn, I believe.
It is. So still don't have this key that we need.
Well, the question is, trading is from the same square or one adjacent?
Can do in the same or adjacent. So I was about to say, how many bullets do you have?
I have 2 bullets. I would definitely appreciate bullets.
So if I trade the small key for the handgun bullets,
okay.
So I can go and open this door, and then you have some bullets.
Now the bullets are as an action or anytime?
You need to use an action to activate.
Okay.
So
reloading. Gotcha.
Yep. So okay, so that's 1, 2 to go to here. Not to the square with this. I'm going to spend 3 to open this. Now I've got the simple locks, so I'm just going to quickly flip that over. There, and watch that token unfortunately fall through. Cool. Right, okay. And then, so 1, 2.
3 is the trade, 4 is the door.
Yeah, sorry, trade 1.
No, it's only 3.
2, 3. Yeah, I've got one more. I was just deciding where I want to step in. Let's be bold. That's never failed us before, has it? He says. Unsurprisingly, that is a simple room on its own. And now we have to deal with a slightly different beast entirely.
Okay,
perfect.
That looks good.
Enough anyway. Cool. All right. Okay. So with that in mind, we now have, where are we? A item C.
And what's that thing?
That's a hunter. And that's a slightly more scary beast. So hunter is on a larger base. So basically any evade roll we make against this, the small evade will not work. Also, my IMC has just dropped through the world, but that's fine. We'll have to live with that, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'll use this item B token, hopefully, and that will stay. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's an item C in that square there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So reaction phase. I'm sorry. Let's do this properly. I'm here now. So the hunter reaction phase. Hunter is speed 2. Not so good.
3 health, hunter. Speed 2. That's not brutal at all.
No. It's a far more sensible.
And it's evasive.
Zombies. Yeah, it's quite fast. It's even moving as a model now, dancing around. You can tell. Cool. So let's now draw one of these. To be honest, I'm very glad that Crimson Head didn't come up while we had zombies to worry about. That's where we had open doors to contend with. It's all clear. Of course it is, other than the hunter that's standing next to me.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go 1, 2, and I think, and if I shoot it, does it react and attack you?
No, it will do a move reaction as that. So it's going to be good unless you push it. Well, no, so it's going to be good where it's there.
The problem is I could reload. I'm going to have to reload anyway. So I did 1, 2 right now. So I could reload and then shoot. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to reload, upping my ammo to 10, but then lowering it straight back down to 7. So I can do a 3 bullet attack against this guy. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and roll and push it to 2. So we're going
You
to go
could
ahead.
push it out into the corridor and then run past and shut the door on it. How many actions do you have left?
That's my last action.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that. Should I push it one? Can I even push it? I can push it over here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you prefer it there or you prefer 2 away?
I'm going to let you choose, sir.
Well, you don't have a knife, so I'm going to push it further away because you don't have a knife anyway, so there's no tactical advantage of it being closer.
That's good.
Okay, and actually,
I
once I'm doing
also
this,
can see.
let me go ahead and punch it there. So if you want to get that beeline for item C, you can.
So now we find ourselves in the reaction phase, and because the top card from the tension deck has got that special symbol, the hunter is going to do its special attack.
Okay.
That's range 2,
Mhm.
so it's going to be in range to hit me. I need to make an evade roll, and hopefully this is not going to end into his. This could really sting.
And you're good.
I'm good,
got the
but
big
it
evade.
does have the assault symbol, so that means it's placed in my square after rolling. So basically, the hunter has leapt at me and jumped on top of me. I've just managed to avoid having my my
And
throat
so
ripped
had
out.
you not evade, you would have taken 3 damage.
Yes, which would leave me in a not terribly healthy place at all.
Cool. Cool. Okay. So now I do a tension card.
Oh, you do?
No, that was a tension card, wasn't it?
No, that was the reaction.
No, it was reaction. Tension card time. Okay. All clear.
It's not feeling all clear.
Okay.
Right, let's shotgun this thing and see if we can stop it, because that was quite scary. So grab one of those. So I roll 2 for this. That's 2, and looking at the shotgun card, that is 2 damage. So no pushes on it this time. So where's our wound tokens? That. So
and it only has 3 health.
It has 3 health.
1 second.
So
It doesn't do evasive. It has evasive.
Oh, really good point. So let's roll one of those.
Good. Okay.
No,
beautiful.
We're good. We'll drop another one of those down. And then let's do another shotgun, I think. Should have perhaps. No, I'm glad I saved this actually.
Boom. That's 3 hits, right?
Definitely. As long as
2 hits. 2 hits.
2 hits, but 1 roll.
No.
Unfortunately not. That didn't work too much. So I've got 2. That can't happen again, right?
You could do it again. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
I was
It's going to kill you.
I was about to say it can't happen again, right?
Oh, that can't happen again. No, not at all. 3 wounds and then.
Yeah.
2 wounds. Yeah. Boom. Okay.
This time it is dead. We have killed the hunter. Goodbye, Mr. Hunter.
Now, if you didn't have to decapitate, it goes with a normal corpse token, right? Nothing special.
Well, they don't have the tough hide rule, so it would just
Never
be
mind.
zombies.
No corpse token.
So zombies don't have that. Yeah, if so, I had to deal with hunter corpses. I don't know quite how I deal with that.
So that was 3 actions.
3, and I'm my last one to walk very exhaustedly over this direction.
Excellent. Cool. So what I'm going to do on my turn.
1 moment.
Okay, yep. All clear.
All clear. It is now actually all clear as well.
Yep. I'm going to walk over here because I know something I didn't pay attention to earlier is that I have an action called ability called Master of Unlocking. And my assumption, my masterful powers of deduction have it so that I believe C has to be the key we need. So I'm close to the door and prepped as soon as. Oh, wait, there's a story card, story event.
I was about to say, yes, you are 100% correct in everything you just said, but you do also have a narrative card you just triggered. So,
okay,
so
let's go
remove
ahead
this,
and do that.
and then you draw the red narrative card.
Okay, let's go ahead, draw this here and flip. Draw the top card from the mission deck and begin them. What is this? Draw the top card from the mission deck. Okay.
It's because normally there's quite a few different other types of cards. So let's just quickly talk through how these work. So the narrative cards, there's quite a few different narrative bits and pieces that can happen. It could be that a whole bunch of zombies break through the wood rooms. It could be you get a radio signal, as you've just seen there. There's a various different other bits and pieces that could be. Just so happens that that's one where it's just triggered what that card is there. Missions are something which is slightly different. So as you go through the mansion, and I'm not familiar with how much you know the Resident Evil game, but the idea is our characters are all trapped in a mansion. There's various different members of our S.T.A.R.S team that we can rescue. Now, when you rescue a member of S.T.A.R.S, they're not standing around kind of waiting for people to kind of come and save them or whatever else. The other characters that we've saved are running around doing things like supply runs, or they're trying to secure an escape route, or just hunting down enemies to kill them, that sort of stuff. Or maybe they're just surviving after being attacked themselves.
Sure.
So one of the mission cards represents the other stuff that the other characters are doing off camera. Just because the camera's here, it's almost like this is like a segue into us seeing what's happening somewhere else.
Cool. Okay. So with that,
so we have 2 characters in the reserve who will be, purely because they're over here, will be Chris and Barry. So you're going to have to choose one of those 2 to go on this mission for us.
okay. Your radio bursts into life, a grainy voice breaking through static. S.T.A.R.S, Alpha, Deep, Send, Miss. You reply, but looks like your radio's broken. Draw cards until this character found 4 or more clues or abandons the mission. If this character found 3 or more clues, place Brad Vickers in the reserve. If the character abandons the missions, remove Brad Vickers' card from the game. Intriguing. Okay, so let's go.
Which character would you like to send on this mission, Chris or Barry?
Let's go with Chris.
Okay, sorry, Barry, you're safe for the time being. So basically, something that's going to happen now is Chris could die as a result of this.
Chris could die or Brad dies?
Well, Chris could die when a character's on a mission. So the top of these cards we've been drawing, you notice that some of them have got the red symbol there. That means a wound. That means if you ignore the effects of the encounter card in terms of spawning enemies and other stuff like that, you just look at the symbols on the top. The red one, the blood splat, means that character suffers a wound. Suffer 5 of those and the character dies, the same as your health track.
Sure.
The blue ones, the magnifying glasses, are our clues. So good luck, sir.
Okay.
You can choose to abandon after drawing and resolving any card.
Yep.
So
that's a great start. 2 clues.
Tremendous start. Okay.
Although it's also an empty, so we didn't benefit from it there. We're going to flip this one and we're going to have 1 clue. Okay. So again, we're doing really solid. Apparently those cards weren't showing up when we wanted them. And we have, this one is, what is that one? Oh, that's
the stars one. So that actually means that triggers your effect. So you're going to heal 1 point.
Jill and each other character on a tile heals 1 level. Nice. Okay. And you're not on my tile. Okay.
So then I'm going to quickly put these back into a deck, and then we'll shuffle them again, because I think Tabletop is going to be a bit picky now. So,
is there any group version? I know Tabletop Simulator has a group option.
Yeah, they normally do, but unfortunately, there we are. Yes, unfortunately, I've not known a way of doing this that isn't going to take a little bit of time to put them down. I'm afraid. There we are.
Okay.
It's like a thing where it goes orange, and then it will let you group it.
There we go. There we go.
This is not useful for 1 person doing it, I think. So I'll let you take care of it.
Yeah, I seem to have most of it there, except for it looks like there's 1 card missing out of the alignment.
That's we'll survive.
Okay. And do we take the cards that are, what's it called?
So we'll basically flip them and then quickly shuffle, and then just carry on going.
Okay. Let me just move this over here like this. No, why is it doing that way? Okay. So give me a second, trying to get this. There we go. Give me the cards. Give me the cards. It's not doing it. Oh, 1 second. I see what's going on. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so put that on top now. It goes orange and then shuffle. And then finally, there we go. Okay.
Cool.
Draw 1 more card. And we have that again, which is not helpful now. And then we have that again. Boom.
Really that's it. 4. That's 1. Well done, Chris. Okay. You're very, very good at this. So Chris has, I'll let you read on the rest of the card.
Okay. On the, so we have, if the character found 3 or more clues, place Brad Vickers in the reserve.
So Brad Vickers, you have successfully rescued our man, Brad.
Bird's eye view. If Brad completes a mission, draw a number of cards from the tension deck corresponding to the total number of reveals clues. Without resolving them, return each card to the top and bottom. Very nice. So he's a reserve-only character that can help us out.
You've got it. So in this game, because obviously it might be that you're playing with 4 characters and thus you're using all of the core characters. We have in the core game anyway, some reserve-only characters who let you still have people to go out on missions. Obviously, if we're looking at the campaign itself, when there's more stretch goals, Brad would be replaced by another version of Brad, which is basically a full playable character.
Cool. Awesome. So fine.
And then you
that
have
was
1 action left, as you had.
Which is going to be go over here. So I'm open to the prep for the door next round.
You are indeed.
And tension card. Okay. All clear.
Good. We've ridden this deck really, really well this time. So I'm going to go 1 to here. I'm going to pick up the item C, which is over here. Double check, make sure I've got. It is
Is
indeed the sword
indeed
key.
the sword key.
So Master of Unlocking, I'll leave that with you.
Okay.
And then I will then go to so where I go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there.
Yeah.
And then card from Tension deck.
All clear.
All clear.
Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and open this door in front of me. That's going to be 1, which does mean we have this zombie who will start reacting to us now. But I'm okay with that because I don't think he's going to move fast enough. Then I'm going to go 2, 3, and open this door over here. That's going to be 4,
Yep.
and that's my turn. We're going to have this zombie reacting to us by wandering 1 down the hallway, and then I do draw the tension deck.
You do.
Okay.
At this point, provided nothing too much
All
comes
clear.
up from Tension deck, I think we are safe.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and then 4 to here.
Zombie shuffles
is
1.
going to go closer. Rebecca is going to fall out. She's pretty tired after
And then
a
tension
long
deck,
night.
all clear. I'm going to wander 1, 2, and then does that trigger endgame or you need the other 2?
No, you're just out at that point, and then same thing because you're gone. You don't draw from tension deck anymore, and then
Gotcha.
my one will be then straight again 1, 2, and out again.
Perfect. Awesome.
And we have survived.
Excellent. Cool.
Alex,
okay.
I want to say your tactical acumen for shutting doors and so on actually made that the easiest playthrough I've had of this so far. So well done, thank you.
Oh, anytime. I was going to say, this is like the tutorial intro. And I mean, it's one of those interesting things because we didn't actually lose that much health. But as soon as we got into this room, as soon as we started seeing zombies, at no point after did I ever not feel tension. Like the tension deck is well named. Like we killed the first 2 zombies. We got a little clear. I was like, okay, reading some cards, nice little tutorial scenario. But then once this thing happened, it was a little bit of a navigation the entire time, which I really appreciated. Cool. Okay, so for those who've made it to the end, well, first of all, timestamps and all that stuff. For those who made it this far, awesome. This is going to be Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil, 3rd in the series, 1st in the timeline from Steamforge Games. And from now, we're going to jump into a bit of a post-game discussion of just, I haven't played the originals, and I'm just curious myself as far as some of the differences between the designs of these 3 games. And so, Sharon, I guess what should I know about the other games, and what are the differences between this and other games?
So the sequence we made them in is Resident Evil 2 first, then Resident Evil 3, and then now to Resident Evil. The biggest changes that happened in Resident Evil 2, we really built what we have, the survival horror engine, i.e. the engine that we use with the action, reaction, tension phases, how that moves around and so on. Resident Evil 3, the next step above that was we actually created an open world, which is something that's shared by this game. So rather than Resident Evil 2, where it's a very linear story, you have your first scenario, you finish that, you go to your second scenario, third scenario, and so on. In Resident Evil 3, the idea is you're exploring the city. So and same with this one, you're exploring the mansion. So when you at the start of the game, you have a choice of 4 different scenarios. You can then explore in any direction you want. You choose what order you do different scenarios in, and as a result of your actions, other areas of the mansion that you've left neglected will become more dangerous, or will fill up with corpses or whatever else, depending on how long you leave it for. Okay. Also, there's survivors in there, then the survivors really won't appreciate you leaving them behind. Sure. So it kind of grows up that way. We have a danger level that goes up as the scenario goes on, as the scenarios go on as well, which means the mansion is becoming more dangerous. So there is something where the more bodies you leave behind, the more crimson heads you're going to have to shuffle into that encounter deck. So there's various different changes we made about that. So in terms of how the structure of them work, which have kind of moved up from 2, which is linear, to 3, which is open world, and then this one here, which is very much similar to the open world, but also has more impact on when you zero in on your scenarios.
Cool. And does 2 or 3 have the slowly evolving map the way this one did?
No, so that's a new thing for this game. So one of the things we wanted to do with this game is we want to replicate that sort of claustrophobic kind of creeping tension you have as you are exploring out the mansion. So you are putting down cards, you are drawing cards and putting them down as you go along. One of the really interesting points that I didn't realize until after I'd actually been working through and doing some playtesting on this is one of the unexpected events was it's much easier in RE3 and RE2 to plan your path through a scenario because you've got everything in front of you. You can see every objective, every typewriter to let you reset the tension deck. You can kind of really plan your turns ahead a lot more. In this one, it wasn't until I was playtesting with Steve, our developer, and we got to a stage where we sat there and went, hang on a minute, we've got like 5 cards left in the tension deck. We don't know where the next typewriter is. We need to suddenly start running into rooms to try and find where we're going, just so we're not going to lose that way. And that's something where that really came into its own, because now you definitely have that sense of I need to go out there and explore. I'm constantly on the time. I'm constantly on the clock. I need to worry about where I am. I still don't know where the enemies are. And thanks to the new encounter system, we're using the deck, which evolves the same as the tension deck does as you go through. So you are shuffling in more hunters, more crimson heads, and then some really horrible bosses towards the end of the game also go into this deck. This means that basically you never know exactly what's going around the next corner, which is really, really heightened in this version of the game.
Because I can see just even the scenario you just played, the idea of like, running around, fight. We could have faced off against that huge guy without the shotgun, which would have been significantly harder to resolve. In theory, we could not engage them at all and hope he doesn't kill us, but based on his attack stuff, he may well have. So that aspect of what you encounter, what you run into, or even just the old key. So correct me if I'm wrong, we needed the old key to progress, right? That's a fair statement. Now, because of that aspect, while we need the old key to progress, there's also an item. There was another A item in this side room with 2 zombies. Because of the order that we got things in, we didn't have to engage with that side room. But if the old key had been the last item, we would have needed to. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct.
Interesting. So like so that's also as an element of replayability as well, meaning even once you know it, there is still a degree of a hint of unknown. Your plans can get better, but still not perfect information, so to speak.
Which carries on to the narrative events as well. The narrative event deck is completely shuffled each time. So it may well be one of the things that people liked a lot, currently really enjoying about RE3 is, there are some events you have where you find a survivor, outside the police station. You bump into that character there. Okay, great. On my next playthrough, I don't meet anybody there. There's just like a corpse on the ground, or there's kind of something else happen, like some car alarms start going off and attracting zombies or whatever else. And it's exactly the same here. You may well meet a survivor. We had a radio signal from Brad there. It could have been that you actually got there. There's a whole bunch of bullets laying on the floor and it looks like someone didn't make it, or whatever else. There's lots of replayability, lots of variability built in. And I think backers players will really appreciate this because it's something where they can share stories. Oh, wow, we found Barry here. Oh, we didn't even see Barry. Like, cool. he was just gone for us. So it's interesting. Wow.
And how long is the campaign arc?
So Steve will correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 18. If you're just looking at the core game, I think it's 18 scenarios, which is probably somewhere in the region of about 22-ish hours, depending on how fast you play. Okay, could be slightly longer. Depends.
Very cool. Very cool. So fine. Any other major differences between I guess 1 and then 2 and 3?
So we've covered most of the obvious points off. I mean, the biggest one is obviously that we haven't touched on is the fuel side of things, where you're burning corpses and leaving those behind, that sort of stuff. But obviously there's various other different changes in terms of how the characters work. In terms of everyone has different abilities and so on going forward. But I think we've covered most of the main beats. Cool. That I can think off the top of my head. There's a few interesting new mechanics of bosses that people might not necessarily have seen. There's a few more environmental things. So rather than bosses just being something where you walk onto a tile, you unload your ammo at it and try to fight it off that way, we've got some bosses that chase you through a series of tiles that you're trying to get away from. We've got other ones that we're trying to mix around. And I guess the other thing I haven't really talked about is puzzles.
I saw that
in Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, I saw the announcement that you're incorporating puzzles.
Yeah, so there's some really interesting stuff happening with those, which I'm glad that we've got into the game now, and I'm glad they're fitted into this. In terms of how they work, it's difficult to describe because obviously each one is quite unique, but a lot of them are based on very similar sort of mechanics to what you actually saw in the video game. So there's lots of stuff where you need to push a series of buttons in the right sequence without actually knowing what buttons you need to push in the first place. There's a few things where we have like an A/B lock door system. So you might have something where you've got like a red switch, push that, the red doors unlock, obviously blue doors lock, and then vice versa. But that's a bad thing because obviously you're letting through different enemies to come and attack you, that sort of stuff. So it's a lot of juggling and managing that way.
Cool. Fine. So I think we're going to call this a wrap. Before we go, first of all, again, to anyone who missed the beginning, October 26th is going to be the Kickstarter. And then anything about the campaign, the game, anything you want to spoil or anything?
Yeah, I could give you a couple of spoilers. I mean, so I think something we haven't talked about with anybody yet, so this is all you, is we have 2 main gameplay expansions to go into this. One is called the Bleak Outpost, and that's the guardhouse for people who know Resident Evil. There's 2 what we'd call large bosses in that, so on big 80mm bases, Plant 42 and Neptune, which is the most unlikely fan favorite boss I've ever encountered, but apparently is one. And then the other one is called Into the Darkness, which is got Yawn, the giant snake, and Black Tiger, which is a huge spider and it's neither black nor a tiger. And some logic behind that, but there we are, it's Resident Evil. which is really around the caves, and then the third floor of the mansion. So
Excellent. Very cool. Well, color me excited. I'm someone who like I played the video games way back in the day. I haven't played in anything recent, but this was fun. I like the degree of tension. One of the things I walked into this is for those who watch my channel, they already know that I am a huge fan of Zombicide. I like the series. I tend to pick my favorite ones in there, but this felt very different. It's not a comparable experience to me. The degree of tension, the degree of how much each thing matters felt more like almost like maybe a little bit like Deep Madness, but again, even still very, very different. I like how a single shambling zombie is really a threat. I like the decision space of running out of ammo versus knifing someone versus knowing that when you get a knife fight with a zombie, someone's going to get hurt. And then finding the weapon, like that shotgun felt like a ray of sunshine. It's like we need that shotgun. We need that something that can actually shoot and without just hitting the wall time and time again. And I like the mechanic of like knocking zombies away. Like even for the burglar handgun, you push a zombie through a door and close it behind it. It has a tactical degree of escape that is very different than what I'm used to when I'm just slaughtering zombies in Zombicide. So overall, I really appreciate this run through. For anyone else watching, I will have more content coming to the channel on this game before the Kickstarter. So I'll be playing it some more. I'll be going through the tutorial again with some others, and I'll be, well, just keep your ears tuned. There'll be some more content coming. Sherwin, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And as always, to everyone else, have a good one.